Presumably, as cyclists,
yes,
you're delighted to be playing in the velodrome.
Of course, when we heard this, this concert was going to be happening here, because we'd seen the hall also on television, on some cycling events over the last decade, and then we made contact with the cycling team. So tonight we're going to bring in as a surprise the British Olympic cycling team. They will do a speed cycling along while we play Tour de France.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be a special event, and we're going to do a rehearsal this afternoon.
Right. And when you're on stage and you see them cycling, would you rather be cycling?
Yes, maybe, but they're too fast for us.
Do you still cycle a lot?
Yes, when we have time and it's in between tours or albums or recording sessions, it's good to go into the fresh air, into nature, and stay in contact with the environment and feel the wind and the weather.
Yes, absolutely. Are you fully recovered? I mean, I know your accident was a long time ago.
Oh, that was a complete nonsense. Always told about it.
Was it?
By people who were not even cycling with me.
So. Right. Okay. So it wasn't as serious as it was made.
No, it was just a small headache, and that's it.
Okay. Good. First thing I have to ask is there any new Kraftwerk stuff in the pipeline now?
Yes, the immediate future will see the release of the catalog. Finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
All the 8 albums in original artwork now for the first time. Remastered with the original Kling Klang masters. And the artwork is all reconstructed from the original photographs and from the photo prints and from negatives and graphics that we had in our Kling Klang collection, and has some additional artwork in booklets, etc. That was never published in those times because we were never allowed to do a full artwork cover. There was always publicity on it, and people change in America. They turned the photos around left to right, and so there were so many mistakes and sometimes very bad quality, and now it's going to be in very high quality.
Yeah.
Reconstructed from the originals, because we have all the original artwork.
Right, okay, and that's coming out late September, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of new stuff, but it's old stuff.
Yes.
And so what about some real new
well,
stuff?
first we had to do this to get the work done, and now we have been touring the world, and new ideas are coming, and we are composing, as always.
Do you still work every day? Do you go into Kling Klang?
Yes, of course. I invented the 168-hour week.
Right. Is that still what you do, 168 hours in a week?
Yes, because there's no separation between work and free time.
Right.
So it's a continuous process of making music, of finding ideas, of staying in shape, of traveling, of being home, of regeneration, and of activities and sleep.
So all these things, even sleep, are part of the same single project?
Because ideas are coming, and then you might take a note or you might forget, depending on the strength of any musical ideas.
Right.
We don't have a special working principle. We get our musical ideas from our 168-hour week.
So if you go into Kling Klang, and is there such a thing as a normal working day? What would you do you go in and turn the lights on and turn the machines on? I mean, how does a day work?
We have also other work to do, coordinate for the tours or work on the equipment, speak with technicians, So there's so many things around music for us because we are a very small group of autonomous people. And we're not just musicians. We are working in graphics, we are working in designs, like I've been working with my graphic designer on reconstructing the albums. We do mastering. So there's all kinds of activities. It's not just performing at 8 o'clock in the evening and then finished at 10. And
right. Yeah.
So there's a whole background to it.
Do you find composition a torture process, or do the tunes come easily to you?
Yes, the best music comes like automatic.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that, because a lot of the great Kraftwerk melodies that we loved down the years are kind of deceptively simple. They have a beautiful simplicity and purity to them, and sometimes very simple things. It's easy to overcomplicate things. Very simple things are very difficult to come up with, aren't they?
Yes, and what we are aiming for is something like the Urgesang. The German word is Urgesang, die Ursprache.
Right.
The speech, the origin of speech, the origin of music, the origin of sound and noise, of silence, whatever. That's at least where we're working at.
Because when you started, elements of what you did was much more sort of free form, almost like free jazz and avant-garde elements to it. So when did you begin to refine it into the Kraftwerk that became very successful?
We played all improvised sessions in art galleries and student parties and cellars or jazz clubs or student dance parties. And then we started with our Kling Klang studio in 1970. And from there it was getting more organized, and at first you have to find your language, then you develop ideas, and still taking another couple of years until we were finishing the album Autobahn.
Right. And was that the first one, Autobahn,
yes,
where you felt you'd really reached what you were striving for?
In a way that was for us the next step.
Did you at the same time start to refine the way you looked? Because obviously you had sort of long hair at the beginning and things like that, and sort of bringing it into that kind of...
Yes, it's coming together from our cultural identity situation, and you change, and it's working with photographs, films and mirrors and reflections and tapes. Because our main instrument at that time was a tape recorder.
Yeah.
Where now it's the computer. So these ideas take time to develop.
Yeah. With the photographs, I think the Emil Schult photographs, the very airbrushed photographs, was that a Germanic tradition? You were kind of poking fun at in a way?
Yes, but also in Trans-Europe, it's also the European idea where we used a photographer in Paris who didn't even know who we were. So he just photographed us as a couple or a party or a business group or whatever. We didn't know what we were doing, so we just went there anonymous and being photographed. So we liked the idea of anonymous appearance.
Well, it was quite ironic for a rock band, if you want to call it that. It was very formal pose, wasn't it?
Yes, well, we're not really a rock band, although we work in the circuit of where rock bands tour and playing the same places. But here again, now in Manchester, we play a velodrome.
Yes.
So we're entering the sports world.
But you've influenced a lot of rock bands. I mean, you are a key influence. I think that's quite interesting, the way you've played with the notion of what a band is, really.
Yeah, it's more like an electronic quartet.
Yeah, like a string quartet. Have you always been fascinated with technology and gadgets? Because it seems like, looking back over your work, when you think like, like the computers and the pocket calculators, and of course the robotics and everything, the sort of real life seemed to follow the things you were writing about.
But they come in context with a sociological meaning,
right?
If that's the word. Not for being just themselves, but being part of our life. Integrated into the, like I said, the 168-hour week. So we're not writing or composing about things that we do not experience. It's our day-to-day experience working with computers or electronics or pocket calculators, or all these ideas come from our day-to-day work.
Obviously, Florian's no longer with you.
Yes.
Which we obviously have to mention. You can tell me why he left if you like, or you can keep your counsel if you like. But has it made the running of Kraftwerk kind of in a funny way easier for you? Because
no, it's just that we continue working, and he's working at the university or other projects, so we just continue working.
Right. Okay. Are you still friends?
I don't know.
Okay. It needs a little time, does it? Ian?
I can't say.
Okay. So when might we hear a new Kraftwerk album?
Like I said, we're
songs,
always working. So once this is finished, the catalog, and new ideas need to be worked out.
But you don't put a time. You don't give yourself a deadline, really.
No, at the moment. No, the music composes itself, and when it's finished, we know.
Right. Do you have any new songs finished in Kling Klang at this time?
We have ideas and tracks and elements and ideas. It's the same with the Tour de France album that was sleeping with me for 20 years. We just released one composition, but then all the others were just like film scripts. That's the way we work. And then it still takes time, production, and really to get to work on this theme and not something else. Concentration, and so when we are doing the last concerts, I think in September, where we play another festival of Isle of Wight, I think.
Yes, the festival I think you're doing, aren't
you?
Yeah.
After that we go back into the studio and then close the doors, and then we will see what the winter is.
Right. Yeah. It was always said that there was I don't suppose it matters now, there's mobile phones, but there was no telephone at Kling Klang. You could send a fax maybe. Was that true?
That was in the old times, but nowadays we don't use fax anymore.
Right. So there's no fax either?
No.
And the phones don't work in now? So you sort of bunker mentality, is it?
Yes, you need concentration on, because otherwise everybody's doing something else. While we are talking, I might as well be receiving emails from here, or I might be online there, and so people are doing too many things at the same time and they lose concentration. And that's what we try to do.
Do you still
concentrate.
Dance?
Yes, when we go to clubs.
You still like that?
You
yes,
like to, yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Like mechanical movements and like the robots, and yes.